This is being recorded. So guys, welcome. I am so thrilled to be here today. Honestly, my heart is for you guys who are just starting out in your careers now. This is amazing. So I'm blessed to be here. I just want to ask you to keep an open mind and an open heart as you're listening today. I think I'm going to hit mute all again. Someone is not muted. So they wanted me to tell a little bit of my story, which I'm happy to do. So when I was 13, and I promise this won't take forever, I wrote in my journal, I will be an exercise therapist. Couple things there. One is I'm a big journaler. I still keep a journal. Yes, I do a lot with technology, but there's something powerful to writing it down with your hand, the connection in your brain, and actually manifesting it in the world. So on that day, I wrote down a lot of things, and almost every one of them happened. I didn't know what an exercise therapist was when I was 13 years old, but here's what I did find out pretty quickly. We do things in life to move away from pain and towards pleasure. And for me, the pain in my life was a very strong family history of heart disease, diabetes, stroke, obesity, cancer, alcoholism, cigarette smoking. I mean, I looked at all that and went, ooh, I don't want anything to do with that. So can you guys see me on the big screen? No, it's just like a weird color there, like a funky yellow. Okay, I'm not sure why I'm not on the big screen, but we're going to keep going. So the other thing that we do is we move towards pleasure. And I was really happy when I was dancing, jumping, swimming, bike riding, I mean, name it, cheerleading, softball, any of that. It just felt really good to me. And I didn't really grow up in a very happy, laughing household. So when that endorphin rush hit me, I was like, this is good. This is fun. I like how this feels. So when I turned 17, that's how long I had to wait. I got certified as a group fitness instructor, really because that was all that was available 32 years ago. And, okay, so I have the camera. So I went on to get my associate's degree in biology. I went to a junior college because my dad was always sick and I wanted to stay close by. I got my bachelor's in exercise science from Rutgers University in New Jersey. And then I got my master's degree in clinical exercise physiology, and it also had a specialty in cardiac rehabilitation, which I loved because very strong family history of heart disease. My dad was the oldest living male in his family at 36 years old. And I just kind of grew up with this fear that my dad's not going to see me graduate high school. He's not going to see me graduate college, get married, have kids. So I wanted to learn anything that I could to help people live a long and happy life. So at 17, I wrote down my mission statement. I will provide individuals with the tools to make health, fitness, and wellness a permanent and enjoyable part of their lives. And that's changed some over the years, but it still totally serves me. So I graduated from high school, and I had already been working in health clubs. I worked all through school. I worked at the local health clubs in town. I worked on the university at the campus gyms. So when I graduated, I started out as the fitness director at the health club that I had been working at. And I worked my way from the front desk to group fitness to personal trainer, to personal training director, group fitness director, and then I wound up becoming an owner, really with sweat equity, because the owner saw how committed I was, how hard I was willing to work, and he was willing to give me a little bit of sweat equity. So there's tip number one is work hard, make it known what your goals are, and don't be afraid to ask. I mean, at some point, I think I was 24 by then. I finished my master's when I was 22. I told the owner, this is what my intentions are. It is my goal to own a gym. That was also one of the things I wrote down when I was 13. I will own a gym. And so I was able to get in with a little bit of sweat equity, and over time, we had an agreement where each year I would earn a little bit more ownership in the gyms. So we opened a second location, and be a part of everything you can. Go above and beyond. So I wanted to meet the equipment vendors. I wanted to meet the contractors. I wanted to understand how the sound system worked. I wanted to know everything that I could. So I really stayed in the trenches, always learning, trying to meet the decision makers, the influencers, the people who were doing cool things to bring this all together. And then we had the opportunity to open up some corporate fitness centers. So here's the cool thing. You have members of your club, people who can afford memberships, people who want to take care of their bodies. they're pretty cool people. You want to get to know them. There's some amazing friendships that I've developed and had incredible opportunities because of the clients that I train, the members that I met. They're amazing, amazing people. Judge no one. Really get to know these people. Honestly, they're incredible. And if people can afford personal training services, they probably have some level of success in their life, whatever their industry or their talents are. These are amazing people. My very first client was a very high-profile attorney in New York. And I was 17 years old, and I remember him walking in and me being a little intimidated by him because this guy, he was big and he was grumpy, and he just, I mean, you could feel the heaviness in the room when this guy walked in. And we sat down for our very first assessment, and I asked him about his goals. And I was like, hey, what are you looking to do? And he said, I want to drive a Mercedes SL. I'm 17 years old. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to help this guy drive a Mercedes SL. So I inquire more. And he goes, well, I can afford the car. I just can't fit behind the wheel. So we started on our journey to help him lose 50 pounds. And within several months, he released the 50 pounds. And each week that he was coming in, he was transforming. Had a little bit of a bounce in his step, a little bit happier, started to get some coloring back, waist got smaller. He eventually started to say, my employees like me better. My family's noticing. My kids like me better. And one day I got a call to come outside, and he pulls up in a Mercedes SL, and he fits behind the wheel. And high-profile attorney in New York referred a lot of clients to me. When I needed an attorney, I was able to call him. So these are relationships that will extend so far beyond. So some of our clients worked for companies. So we started asking, would your company consider opening up a corporate fitness center? And we were able to open up 9 locations. So Calvin Klein, BMW, Nabisco, AT&T, we just had a group of amazing corporate fitness centers. So I was able to take exercise physiologists and put them into these corporate locations. It was a great opportunity for them. They did classes, they did assessments, they did workouts, competitions. I mean, everything that you're learning works really well in a corporate setting. Getting that, accountability and the camaraderie going will change the dynamics of a company. And it really starts from the top down. So when you can get the CEO coming to the gym, when you can get the head of HR, the head of IT, when you can get all those leaders in, you can truly change. And I know you guys know all the statistics about corporate wellness and what it can do for a company, but it's really cool to watch that happen. So I also founded a school around that same time. So as we were growing and opening up more locations, more corporate sites, we needed more people. And again, this is like 30 years ago. Personal training was still pretty new. So I started a school. I called the American Council on Exercise, and I said, what do I have to do to help people to pass your test? And they didn't have anything. So I actually started the first school that was approved by the American Council on Exercise to do exam prep. So we did group fitness, personal trainer, medical exercise specialist, and the lifestyle and weight management consultant with the 4 certifications. And over a course of 9 years, prepared over 3,000 people with a 98% passing rate for the ACE exams. So that was a good feeder system for me to find really good trainers and take the best top ones from the class and put them into our locations. So all that was going on, and that was the first 14 years of my career. And then my son was born, and I was pregnant right away with my daughter. They're a year apart. Now they're 16 and 17. And I just knew it wasn't the lifestyle that I wanted. I knew that, all those locations, hundreds of employees, thousands of members, the health club business, 5 in the morning, 10 at night, 7 days a week. It just was not the kind of mom that I wanted to be. So thankfully, I was able to sit my partner down. He was able to buy me out. I came home, and I was like, okay, what does this look like? How do I do this? I had such a big desire to contribute to our industry on a really high level, but I still wanted to be there for my kids. I wanted to have freedom of time, but I also wanted that executive pay, right? The money is nice. We get used to a certain lifestyle. You don't want to give up the cleaning woman. You don't want to give up vacations. So I started going, okay, what can I do? I've got this knowledge. I've got this experience. I can write articles about fitness. And so I started to do writing. And then eDiets, which I don't even know if they're around today, they hired me as their lead fitness expert. So I got to be the #1 online trainer for fitness online. And through that, really learned about writing and media and just getting things out electronically, hosting online weight loss groups, having chat rooms. And so that was really my introduction to doing things online. And at the same time, I became the editor of Personal Fitness Professional magazine, which is still around today. So I edited that magazine for years, so it gave me the opportunity to connect with other great fitness pros who are willing to write and contribute to the magazine. So again, always connecting, always looking for talent, looking for people who are out there doing great things. And of course, I got to write for the magazine as well. So I did that for about 5 years. And so on this journey to figure out how can I contribute to this industry without owning gyms anymore, I started speaking. So I was speaking on the circuit around, club industry, IRSA, IDEA. I spoke at New York Sports Club conferences a couple times a year, and I started consulting for some clubs. So I was able to do most of that from home, which is really cool. I started getting interviewed on the radio and so on. So for the last 18 years, I've done most of what I've done in the fitness industry without having a health club. So a few other things that I did that were really cool along the way that helped me to stay so connected to fitness and have a great income. Fitness boot camps, that was something I started 13 years ago. The very first year doing my fitness boot camp, again, 13 years ago, they weren't as popular. There were none in my town. I'm in a small town of 3,500 people. I had 60 women and 15 men who came out every morning for boot camp at 5:30 a.m. So the first year, that one boot camp brought in $161,000, 1 hour a day. It was a really cool model, and I'm happy, we don't have time here offline to talk to anyone about that boot camp model. You have the PFP articles, awesome. So the boot camp model is awesome. Group fitness, outdoors, very low risk to get started. You don't need a lot of equipment. You literally need a parking lot. Now, tough to do outside in upstate New York in the winter, so I teach you how to have indoor locations as well. But the boot camp was awesome. Did that for a while. I do still have a private studio, but I only train clients 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And that 2 hours a day brings in about $40,000 a year. So I do it because I love it and I want to, and I love to stay in the trenches with people and still be a hands-on trainer. And it gives me really good things to talk about and write about when I speak, but it's not because I have to. So one of the things that I want you to think about is trading time for money. As fitness, and there's nothing completely wrong with that. Doctors trade time for money. Dentists, attorneys, they get paid by the hour, but they're only getting paid while they're working. So something I figured out early on, and that even if you are on a salary, it's still trading time for money. So I figured out you need to have other streams of income. You need to be able to not work and still get paid. For example, a friend of mine in California, boot camp coach, awesome guy, rocking his program, making a ton of money. One morning, last week, out there doing a demonstration, tore his quad off of his bone. I mean, bad. He's out. Can't teach his boot camp. Needs surgery. Had surgery this week. So what do you do then? I mean, we rely on our bodies to be healthy all the time to be able to go out and do what we do. What if you need knee surgery or back surgery or you get pneumonia, God forbid, whatever? When you're trading time for money and you're relying on your body, you need to have a plan B. You have to have a backup plan. So some of the things that are a natural extension of what you do, for example, nutrition. Does anyone know anyone who needs to eat every day? Everyone, right? Every one of your clients is going to need to eat every day. So you want to be a solution for that. That makes sense, right? Your clients they probably already ask you, what do you eat? What supplements do you take? What should I do? What about intermittent fasting? What about gluten-free? They come to you for those type of questions. So you want to have a resource for that. And I'm happy to talk to you offline about what I do. It's actually this company here, Isogenics. Awesome, 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 amazing. But here's what happens. Every Monday, I get paid because all of my clients need to eat. They want a multivitamin, they want a protein shake, they want an energy drink, they want some greens, that kind of stuff. So why not be the place that they can go to get that instead of saying, oh yeah, go to the grocery store or the vitamin store to get that. If you can be the source for that, having your own online nutrition store, and you could make awesome residual income doing that, why not do that? So that's one of the things that you can do. And there's lots of others, but I would definitely suggest you start to consider, what do I love myself? What can I connect to that would allow me to have income from it? Maybe you write an app and you can have income, creating online workouts from an app. So there are lots of things, and I would invite you to start looking at, what am I connected to? What excites me that I could do for additional income? And it's a little bit of a side hustle, but it's a natural extension of what you do already. Whatever population you want to work with, find something that you love, that they need, that you can offer, and get paid well for that. Make sense? Okay. So the Adventure Bootcamp, the bootcamp program was an awesome thing to do. So today, still, lots of exciting things going on, doing a lot of media, and I had some questions from people that I want to get to, but want to just give you a few tips on things. Here's what I have found. The trainers who are the most successful, and this goes for anything in life, they have the biggest why. And you may have seen a TED Talk by Simon Sinek, which is really the first guy to talk about your why. The best people, the best companies, they know their why. So when you have something that is such a driving force, a driving motivation in you that you just are not willing to give up. Think Michael Jordan, cut from the high school basketball team. He had a why. He had a dream in his heart that had him, that was so big that nothing was going to stop him. And there's many, many, many examples like that. So you have to really dig down and figure that out. When I talk to new graduates, they usually go, I want to help people. Well, that's awesome and that's nice, and that's why we all get started, but you need to go way, way deeper, because there are going to be some door-kicking moments. There are going to be some hard times. You're going to have cancellations. It's going to be spring break. All your clients are going to go away. It's going to be the summer. Your clients are going to take off. You're going to still need to pay the rent and the car and the insurance and the cell phone. You have to figure out, why am I doing this? Because there's nothing more that I hate than to see someone who invested the way you guys have invested in getting this kind of education, this kind of resources that you've poured into this learning, time, money, and then within 2 years, you're getting your real estate license. You're selling insurance. Nothing will make me madder. I promise you. I want all of you guys to do well, but it starts with, why am I doing this? And for me, originally, it was my dad. I hated his family history. I hated the unhealthy choices everyone made, and I was committed to helping as many people as possible. I did not want and do not want one single person to have a down day because of their health, because we know 90% of our health has to do with choice. 90%. I mean, some things you're born with and there's accidents that happen, but 90%. There's no reason why every single person shouldn't wake up every day and their feet hit the ground, they be filled with energy and be amazing. Seriously. And that's just in my soul. And that keeps me going. And yes, I want to be revered as an expert, not because of my ego, but because I want to influence as many people as possible on whatever platforms. So that's why I'm willing to speak. That's why I'm willing to do a Zoom call, because you guys, however many are here right now, 20, Each of you could affect 250, 2,000, and even millions. So it's just worth getting that message out to people. So find that why. You may know what it is, and if you want to share it online or offline with me, I'd love to hear it. I'm going to give you my email right now. It's really easy. You can get me there. I'm going to give you my cell phone. You can call me. I would love to hear what your heart is. What is deep in your soul that you are just relentless about, that you're not going to give up on, that you're going to find a way no matter what. No matter what boss you work for, no matter how much they offer you an hour, no matter how bleak the situation may look, that you're just going to relentlessly contend until you make that happen. So finding that why is important. And here's what I'll tell you. Whatever that why is, go bigger. Go deeper, dream bigger. I mean, think about anyone who's ever done anything. They had to start with something big. I mean, if you were Thomas Edison, would you have invented the light bulb? Like, would you have tried that many times and failed that many times and kept going? The other thing is find a mentor. I'm happy to be your mentor. There are some amazing mentors in our industry. I recommend you get any information from John Spencer Ellis. He's an awesome friend. Spencer Ellis, yes. S-P-E-N-S-E-R, Ellis. John Spencer Ellis is awesome. Todd Durkin, Mark Liebert. These guys all put out awesome information. They are the real deal. They are in the trenches. They crank it out. They understand fitness. They understand business. They understand heart. Get on their mailing list. Listen to what they have to say. Go to their YouTube channels. They are the real deal. They're incredible mentors. If you can't afford a mentor now, get all their free stuff, but eventually invest. I invest a lot of money every year. I have a business coach. I have a social media coach. I have a spiritual coach. I have a marriage coach. I mean, I invest a lot in coaches because I want to be better every single day. I want to be on my game, and I only know so much. And someone who has spent, like you guys, 5 years learning wellness, you guys are experts in that. But maybe you're not an expert in other things, so you're willing to hire people in those areas. So find a mentor. Another is be a servant. And I know some days it's hard to be a servant, but just keep saying yes to serving people in a healthy way and know it will pay off. People notice that, especially in this age of entitlement. And I'm not just singling out millennials in any way, but my kids, their generation, 16, 17-year-olds, are the most entitled generation ever. And people are just not willing to serve. Don't let things be beneath you. Be the one to stand out, even if no one sees it, and just serve. You be good to people and watch what happens. They will think of you first. You'll get called for the radio interview. You'll get called to go train that athlete. You'll get called to go train that celebrity because you're willing to serve. Always be learning. So whether it's through your mentors, reading, I read at least a book a week. I'm trying to see what book I'm reading right now. Actually, I had one on my desk. I mean, I wish you could see my library. I gave away 250 books last year. You have to always be learning, always be reading. So in order to do that, and I know you guys are in school, but something that's going to develop you as a person, you probably need to cut something out. You know what that is. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Netflix. Maybe it's video games. I mean, you guys are right on this edge of a season really changing where you're leaving maybe full-time student position and you're, launching into this next season of maybe full-time employment, really launching your career. So one thing I did 14 years ago was I hired Brian Tracy as my coach. Some of you may have heard of Brian Tracy, but I flew from New Jersey to San Diego every other month to spend a day with him. And one of the very first lessons he taught me was, Kelli, you can do 4 things with your time. That is it. You can start things, you can stop things, you can do more of things, and you can do less of things. That is it. And that has served me so well because I'm always evaluating. Is this what I should be doing with this moment? Is this moving me closer to my goal? Is this the most effective thing that's going to just tick that box, that's going to hit the most urgent and important and impactful thing, an influential thing that I can do, or sitting around watching cat videos or watching the Kardashians, is that serving me? No, that is never going to serve me. So this is the time to really look at that, because there's only so much you can do with your time. So what's that thing you need to stop? And then you do have time to read 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day to add that in. So always be learning. I got some questions, and hopefully I'm answering some of this so far, but another was, how do I build my brand? You know, how do I stand out in this sea of overcrowded, just flooded, you know, everyone is a health pro now. We know it is such an unregulated industry. Anyone can call themselves, you know, a personal trainer or a fitness pro. I promise you that your credentials will separate you. And don't be afraid. It might sound like you're bragging, but don't be afraid to say that you have this degree, because this separates you. In fact, yesterday I was at a PR firm. This guy wanted to look at, you know, promoting me. And the very first thing he said is, what are your credentials? Are you an expert? And I was able to say, I have 3 science degrees, including a master's degree. I have 27 certifications in fitness, nutrition, coaching, lifestyle, medical exercise specialist, clinical exercise specialist, post-rehab technician. I could rattle them off. And I said, I might be the most decorated person in our industry in terms of credentials. And he was like, okay, good. That makes you easy to brand. So put that out there, use that, because people don't know the difference and they're probably not going to ask. So have that on your social media, your business card, that you have this credential, this degree. It's important. So introduce yourself that way. It might seem like you're bragging, but it gives you instant credibility. That helps with your brand. You know, other things with your brand, you really have to decide, and maybe you know what that is, and maybe it's going to evolve a little bit. It might change over time, but if you have an idea of what that is, write that down, start to use it, create a logo, and work around that. My brand right now, this is my most recent best-selling book. It's called Mom and Dadpreneurs. So it's about the business of being a full-time family, but still, again, contributing to your industry on a high level, never sacrificing your family, still having executive pay. So my brand is the Wellness Mompreneur. So I can help people with coaching, and not excluding dads or single people, but that's my brand, is the Wellness Mompreneur. So if you think you know what that is, write it down, start to share it with some mentors, some teachers, people who can help guide you on how to use that. And look at what other people are doing as well, and see how you can make it yours and make it your own. And then just a few tips with social media as you're starting to build your brand. I don't know if you guys are on Facebook or not, but I'll use that as an example. It works for Instagram as well. So your formula is 10, 4, and 1. 10 is, yeah, I have a lot of certifications. So 10 is the lifestyle. And again, I don't know how much you do on social media. It might feel silly, like who cares that I'm eating a salad? Who cares that I'm at a concert? Who cares that I'm studying? People do care. They're watching you. You're building your celebrity. Just like they're watching Hollywood, they're watching you. And if you don't think they are, when they run into you in person, they'll go, oh, I didn't know that you hurt your knee the other day, or, oh, I saw that you went to this concert. So they're watching. You want to put that out there. They want to see, just like the celebrities you follow, your friends are following you. Build up your tribe on social media. So 10 are cool lifestyle things that reflect you and what you do. So you eat healthy, you work out, whatever your hobbies are. Do you play music? Whatever you do, whatever it is. 10, that's your lifestyle. 4 are kind of teaser posts. And those are like, man, I can't wait for my last final to be over and have that degree. And then people are like, what degree? What are they working on? Or, wow, just turned in my last essay. This is really exciting. Just went on that job interview. Can't wait to hear if I got the job. Wow, just finished up my resume. This is really getting real. Or only this many more days of school left. Just kind of teaser things where people are just leaning in and they're like, what's Randy doing? What's Kim doing? They're kind of watching. So you're creating curiosity. Like, wow, just got started on this new nutrition system. I'm getting shredded. I'm going for it for 30 days. Look out for my pictures. And they're just like, what are they doing? I just signed up for this triathlon. Can't wait to start my training. Anyone want, just kind of that kind of stuff. So 10 lifestyle, 4 curiosity that show who you're about, what you're doing, and then 1 that's a power post. So your power post is your call to action. And that's when you go, hey guys, join me. I'm starting a Fizz boot camp next Saturday. This Saturday, come out. We've got a free workout for everyone. Bring your friends. If you're serious about getting that summer body, meet me on Saturday. Message me. So something that's a call to action. Like, I'm having a nutrition seminar next Sunday night. I know you're not doing anything. If you think you could eat better, look better, live better, feel better, get younger, have more energy, come out Sunday night and join us. So there's some call to action where you're going, hey, I just started training at this place. I've got some openings. I know my schedule's going to fill up fast. If you want to be one of my clients, you want to make over your body, come out to this. So, and in between, you're educating them. So if you see an article about something that's fascinating to you about whatever, if you're into athletes or obese kids or seniors or whatever, start building your brand by, you could repost someone else's article, you can comment on someone's article, but start to totally pepper your social media so that you become the expert. So if they want to know about pre-workout and post-workout nutrition, they know you're the guy, you're the girl. How often per week? I mean, daily, even a couple times a day. So if you get in 15 posts in a week, that's good. And then keep recycling that 10-4-1, 10-4-1, and keep going like that. So that was one of the questions someone had about social media. Look at the people who you're following and what they're doing to stand out, and do stuff online. Go, hey, Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, I'm going to get on Facebook Live, and we're going to be talking about recovery nutrition, or we're going to be talking about how to shed those last 5 pounds for your bikini this summer. Join me. Come and ask questions, and get online and do the Facebook Lives a couple times a week. And I like to do them not so much on a schedule, but when I'm led. So if something hits me, I have a conversation with someone, I'm like, man, that was really good. I bet more people are interested in that. Or I hear something and I just get an impression about it and I want to speak about it. Like the last Facebook Live I did the other day was your to-don't list. So we all have a to-do list, but what do you need to have on your to-don't list? And I just gave a bunch of examples on that. So do it when you're led. Like if you just feel like, man, something really hit me. You read something, you heard something, you just went to an event, put it out there on social media and make it your own. Give credit where credit's due, but it's your opinion about it, your spin on it. So get that out there as quickly as possible. So that will help you with building your brand. Let's see. I would say also another tip is choose that first job with care. I mean, you can obviously use a lot of social media to find out as much as you can about a company. Talk to the people who have done what you are about to do and interview them and find out, what do you love about it? What would you change about it? What's frustrating about it? And, before you say yes to a job, find out as much as you can. Be slow to get hired. I know sometimes you're anxious, you got school bills, you got to start working right away. But be slow to find that first job. Really look for a great one, whether you're using LinkedIn or some other resources, and be quicker to leave. So slower to get started. Make sure you choose the right one. Otherwise, you'll really waste a lot of time, because once you get into something, most people just stick with it and they grind and they complain and they just fester, harboring all this ill stuff. So take your time, really interview, ask if you can speak to the former employees who are in that position or anyone in that position. Can you meet the team? I would ask that as well. And interview the person who's interviewing you. Go in with some really great open-ended questions. Ask them about growth. Ask them about their job. Ask them about the direction that the company is going and what room there is for you to grow. Once you've probably done a ton on goal setting in your program. I'm sure you have, and you know the value of that. But I would just ask you to take a little bit of a shift in thinking about goals and look at them as a promise. So what promise are you making to yourself? So whatever your goal is, if you took that and took it another level and made it a promise, a commitment, that I promise I'm going to read a book a month. I promise I'm going to have this kind of an income. What promise are you making to yourself and your family? Takes it a level above just being a goal. So think of it that way. With the social media, I see some questions. Definitely, be consistent with your social media, because people are watching you. If I want to hire someone for anything, a painter, a dog groomer, I go right to their social media and I see what's going on. And I decide, is this someone who I want to employ, be friends with, have in my home? So look at what's on your social media. Employers are looking at your social media. So if you're there with like a cigar and a can of beer, it's not good. Go back, delete that stuff, clean it up. If you're partying, that was the old you that stops today. You don't do it on social media if you're doing it. Seriously. You need to be congruent. What's on the inside of you needs to come out on the outside of you, and they can't see you as one person in your fitness gear training people and then you're smashed on your social media. Cannot happen. Go delete that stuff, clean that up. Moving forward, it's got to be a genuine you. Be real. Don't be fake. Don't be phony. The more you tell, the hard things, the secret things, that's okay. People will connect to your genuineness, and that's part of your expertise. You're being real, but you need to be professional at the same time. Every relationship that you build, every person that you meet, look first about the long-term connection, the long-term relationship, more than the job, more than the money. I promise you, I didn't realize this then, but it is about the long-term relationship. So don't judge anyone. Just connect with people as much as possible. We talked about residual income. I would find a way as quickly as possible to start building residual income. I can help any of you with that tomorrow. Not today, I'm booked, but tomorrow I can help you with that. So my company specifically has a huge heart for millennials. We set a goal to help 1,000 millennials be 6- and 7-figure income earners. And we have a whole subculture within our company that helps millennials grow fast. And fitness pros go the fastest because you guys are already so well positioned to share nutrition information. I would say don't be a slave to training clients. You need to set a schedule. So always look at what's the most excellent first. If I could set my schedule and work between these hours, and you'll be surprised at how you'll be able to fill clients into those time slots versus a lot of trainers who are there at 5 in the morning, 5 at night, 8 at night, weekends. You really need to decide ahead of time what your work hours will be and fill those hours. Just do whatever it takes to get those hours booked. If you're working with clients or working on a shift, try and figure out what's best first. So always start there. Okay, I have a couple questions that people asked before we started, so I want to address some of them. Well, the first one was, how do you motivate people to exercise who don't want to be motivated? So that's the big question, right? And some of you may know about the trans-theoretical model of change. So there's a continuum over which people are ready to make changes. There's this end of the ditch where they're like, exercise is no good for me, smoking is good for me, being overweight is good for me. I mean, there's nothing that any of us can do or say to get those people to exercise. You have to say next. 1 second. Okay. So they do have to at least be ready. I used to train Miss New Jersey for her pageants. That was part of our contract. We got the Miss New Jerseys ready for their pageants. Some of these ladies were not exercisers. They did not want to exercise, but part of their package included me as their personal trainer. I would have to call them up, just about carry them around the gym. It was horrible. They didn't want to be there. It was part of their contract. There was nothing I could do or say to motivate them. Even being on stage, representing the country for our state, some of them just were not motivated. Sometimes you have to say next. next. There'll be someone else who is ready. And when someone is ready, oh my goodness, that is a whole different experience. Those are the people that you want to work with. If someone's not ready, we can still drip on them, send them a little newsletter, put them on your list, touch base with them once in a while. But you cannot waste your good energy trying to drag and pull someone along who doesn't want it. So that was the question. How do you motivate someone? Yes, we can try and keep them accountable. We can set them up with a buddy. We can send them an app. We can put them in a program. We can check in on them. But if they don't want it, no amount of information, I promise you, is going to motivate them. We could talk to them all day long about cholesterol, and it's an emotional decision. They have to be ready. So yes, there are tools and things that work, but I would say to you, don't give your energy to the ones who are ready and the ones who want it. Those are the ones who are going to do well. Make sense? Are they willing to change? Okay, there you go. Yeah. So that was one question. Another one was, how did my training as an exercise physiologist prepare me for club ownership? Really, it did not. I could do a fitness assessment like nobody's business. I mean, I was in there, tape measure, got everything, body fat, all good. Does not teach me how to manage people, how to lead people, how to hire people, how to outfit a gym, lighting, electric, hire contractors, do a lease, none of that. I did come from a family that owned businesses, so I saw some of that growing up. My parents had delis and restaurants and pizzerias, so unrelated business, but just kind of the work ethic and the skills of what does it take to own a business. So I kind of grew up with that. Good work ethic, definitely you need. But I wish I had taken more business courses because I didn't know. So I hired experts. I hired consultants. I brought people in who that's what they did. They helped set clubs up for success by setting up, here's how you hire your sales staff, here's how you set sales incentives, here's how you structure membership pricing, here's how you do contests. So a lot of reading, attended a lot of events, a lot of trial and error, but I can't say that my science degree helped me be a health club owner. Now, your degree may be a little bit different. I think your degree, and someone can type it in, is wellness leadership. I think I have that right. So that excites me. Oh my goodness. Wellness leadership. Leadership is the highest paid thing in any industry. They pay the most money for someone who can lead. The leaders are, the CEOs, the top people are the leaders. So I hope that you have had a lot of leadership training. And if you have not, John Maxwell is awesome. John Lucado is awesome. Tony Robbins is awesome. Learn what you can about leadership and business and surround yourself by awesome people. So yeah, I wish in hindsight, if I had a do-over, I would have done more business training. Another question was, how does the corporate compare to the private in terms of being restrictive or permissive? So the corporate, again, it comes down to relationships. If you have a great relationship, if you're training the CEO of Calvin Klein, there's more freedom in there to do things. You can get things done. You can make things happen. And yes, they will pour more money into the program and help make it more amazing. And so when you're someone who quickly becomes someone they can know, they like, and they can trust, then things happen. They honestly do. So you need to be a great person, be a servant, be likable, be trustworthy, all those character things that, hopefully you learned growing up and from kindergarten along the way. Have the best character. If there's ever an opportunity to make a decision, always make it with the best possible character, and you get favor. There is just favor. Maybe you're that person who just has favor because you always do the right thing, or maybe you know someone who always seems to get favor, and it's because they have good character. So the question was, was it hard? Was it restrictive with the corporate settings? It really wasn't, because we treat them like family. You treat all of these corporate people right down to the factory workers. I mean, we were in the Calvin Klein factory where they were making perfume and cosmetics. And so we brought the factory workers in and we treated them the same way, the people who sat there for 8 hours putting sprayers on perfume bottles, that we did the CEO. So those were the questions that were sent to me ahead of time. I'm just going to scroll up a little bit and see what questions. Is anyone having trouble with audio? Okay, no. Okay, good. Okay, I'm looking for questions. Yes, the importance of networking. I can't stress the importance of networking enough. Put your phone down, get out from behind your computer, go out and talk to people. Honestly, I make the most amazing connection. This was just at an event that I was at yesterday. Yes, people still use business cards. This was yesterday, and this, I'm not kidding, I can't even pick them all up. This was last week. These are all business cards for people that I met. I haven't even gotten them into my database yet. They fell all over my floor. That was from last week. Go out and meet people. I meet the most amazing people. You will make incredible connections. Put your phone down in Starbucks. Honestly, this is all about people. So do that. Live in a small town boot camp. Awesome. Yes. Let's talk offline. Do I believe in supplements? I was never a supplement person, ever. So I was contacted by someone who used to manage one of my health clubs. She is a world-class athlete. She's 54 years old. She does kettlebell lifting, vintage lifting, Spartan races all over the world. She was just in North Korea. She goes to Kazakhstan, Ireland, Arnold Classic, every week competing. And she said, Kelli, there is no way at 54 years old that I could compete at the levels I'm competing without this nutrition. So I've read a lot of nutrition books. And when I started to look at the ingredients, I'm like, wow, everything for more energy, to recover faster, age better, build muscle, burn fat, is all in here. Everything they tell me that I have to go to 6 stores to get, it's all in one spot. It comes in one neat little package to my door once a month in a box. I never run out, and I just take it. And I'm going to be 49 this year. I feel like I'm 27. I feel like I'm only just beginning. And up until a couple weeks ago, I could fill out a whole health history with not one thing on it. I've never had any health issues, blood issues, nothing. I do have a little knee injury right now, first time, little frayed meniscus, but 49 years, working out every day, nothing. And the brain health, no brain fog, no mommy brain, none of that. Gone. So yes, I can now say I am absolutely a believer. I got this is a dairy-free protein shake right there. I'm drinking that. This is a hydrating drink filled with electrolytes and B vitamins without all the artificial sugars and dyes. Pre-workout, post-workout, I'm all for it. Easy, simple. So Isogenics is the world leader in nutritional cleansing. I would love, love, love to do a separate call with you guys for whoever wants to know about it. Let's see. Can you provide your thoughts on boutique gyms and their ability to compete in areas with dense chain fitness centers? Yes, I love the boutique centers. I'm in a small town, but 72,000 is the town I'm on the edge of. So in that town, Lifetime Fitness, 24-Hour Fitness, LA Fitness, there's family fitness centers, and there's probably 50 boutique gyms. So you got the yoga studios, the spinning studios, you have the training studios, the CrossFits. A lot of these personal trainers that were at the big box gyms, they churn and burn them. They churn and burn. As good as like Lifetime Fitness is, I'm a member, love Brahm, love his story, amazing, amazing. But, when you get into your later 20s, you want to start having a family, every year cost of living is going up, health insurance, car insurance, cell phone, all of that, and you're just getting a little increase and you want to get ahead. It's just a slow, difficult way to do it. And the trainers burn out after a while. Good foundation, good start, but long term, unless you're really getting up in the ranks there in management, it could be a tough haul. So the small clubs, what I see happening is these trainers are leaving. They have an idea for a concept of what they want to do. And usually it's one of their clients who winds up backing them because they have transformed this guy or gal. They have the resources to help them set up the gym. They become business partners. The trainer usually has no business experience, but hopefully the person who funded it does. And the trainer puts in the sweat equity. And it's about you. Because we've got 4 walls and we can put equipment in here, no equipment in here. You are what makes the difference. Look at any group fitness class. It could be the same class, but it's very instructor dependent. So what atmosphere are you going to create? What culture are you going to create? If you do something special, you can knock it out of the park. And it starts with you. And you might say, Kelli, I'm really introverted. I'm not entertaining or funny, or I don't know how to do that. And just be you. When I tell you that I am introverted, I am not kidding you. But the reason I'm willing to speak is because I want to share a message. I want to encourage people. I want to give people power to go out and be their best self, to take their passion and their purpose and combine it with profit. So that is what makes me get brave enough to turn on the camera and say, okay, I'm going to do this. So you have to care about people. Go the extra mile so that they're willing to go, you know what? My boot camp was $5 a class. It was more than everyone else's. The other ones in town were 15. Mine was 20. It was 20 a workout. And they did 3 to 5 days a week. And they would come to one class and go, Kelli, I see why you're $5 more class. You're worth it. So you have $20 per class times, I had 75 people before 6:30 a.m. That's a good morning. So you're home before, breakfast. The kids are just waking up and you already made a good chunk of money. So care about your people. Be organized. Have the workouts set up. It took me an hour at night to plan these workouts, and I'd come up with the whole everything. I'd have it all done. I knew what equipment I needed. I had it loaded in the car. I had the whole schematic, obstacles, whatever we were doing. You need to pour in so that when your clients show up, they know why they're willing to pay more. Don't do anything for free with sessions. Don't tell people you'll work them out for free. You'll send them workouts for free. If I can teach you one thing, this model is so broken. And that's what happens at Lifetime Fitness. Someone joins, they give them 3 free sessions. Well, once they see you as free, they see you as zero value. They don't value you. Now they're not willing to pay, because next month Lifetime's going to send them another free session, and they'll just use 1 free session a month, and they're not going to pay for it. Once you get something for free, you don't want to pay. They don't see the value. Could you go get your hair cut right now and go, I'm just trying it. Can you cut my hair? And if I like it, I'll come back and pay. No. Could I walk into the massage place and go, yeah, I'm just trying it. Can I get a free massage? No, nowhere else can you do this except with personal trainers. Get free sessions, free workouts. Do not write anything down for free. If you're sending them a workout, make it professional, do it online, send it to them, but they need to pay for it. You can get money from PayPal, Square, however you want to collect money, set it up, but have income. You just paid for your degree. You might be paying for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You need to have money coming in for everything you do. No one else is going to be willing to do it for free. So please, please, please get paid. Let's see. If you can go back and do things differently, would you? If I had do-overs, I wouldn't do things for free, for sure. I would definitely charge. I probably stayed in some things longer than I should have, and that's where that evaluating, is it working, is it not working, do I need to do less of it, more of it? I would have been better at that, really looking at, is this getting me to the next level? Is this serving me, my family, and my clients in the best way? Because I probably did stay in some things too long, and know that everything is for a season. Nothing is forever. In fact, you guys are predicted to have 5 different careers, not 5 different jobs, 5 different careers, and 4 of them don't even exist. Now, I hope they're all somehow connected to health and wellness and fitness and nutrition. I hope that you guys stay forever and do amazing, amazing things. But don't stay stuck in something. So that's definitely advice. Do I recommend supplements for people, or do I ever recommend a whole food? Oh, of course. I'm all about whole foods. I eat every day, love food. So yes, a supplement is something that you add to the most nutritious diet ever. Let's see. Okay, what are some ways you can help clients with their nutrition without going beyond the scope of practice or personal trainer? Well, that's interesting because, as I said, I used to speak for New York Sports Club, and I would always submit all kinds of topics, and I like to do things that are a little bit edgy and different that not everyone else is doing. And so I did start putting nutrition topics in there, and they would go, no, we don't talk about nutrition. No, New York Sports Club, we have nutritionists. We don't talk about nutrition. So if, a stay-at-home mom can talk about nutrition, but you guys can't, anyone, Joe Schmo off the street can talk about nutrition, but you guys can't. It is not outside of your scope of practice to talk about nutrition. In fact, you are doing a massive disservice to your clients if you are not talking about nutrition. I can tell you 80% of the results from your training, even if you're the best trainer in the world, are coming from their nutrition. 80%, hands down. So shouldn't 80% of your income be coming from nutrition? Doesn't that make sense? So it's not outside your scope of practice. And yes, there were some lawsuits. I'm actually an expert witness in a lot of these lawsuits that come up against trainers, where a trainer took someone down to GNC in New York and said, buy these supplements. And the woman had a heart condition, and he had her on all these, stimulants and caffeine and all these things that were not good for her. And she did die. I mean, that did happen. However, everything that I use in my nutrition system is organic. There's nothing that has any excessive stimulants. There's one drink that has a little green tea, but not more than a cup of tea or coffee would have. So when you have the corporation that is above you that protects and grandfathers you, so it is not outside of your scope of practice as a personal trainer. You will have a lot of frustrated clients if you're not helping them with nutrition. I promise you, long, slow, painful road to transformation without having these conversations. How does your online food business work? Love to talk to you about that offline. Do you collaborate with other supplement companies? I use one. We have 90 products. We really have everything. How do you get your father to stay committed after he had a heart attack? Okay, my dad actually never had a heart attack, which is a miracle. He lived till 70, which was 2 years ago. Actually, my parents' 51st anniversary is today. So he did pass, but he made it to 70 in a few days. Didn't have great quality of life, end-stage heart disease, lung disease, kidney disease. He had cancer 4 times. He had his kidney removed. It was a battle. My mom kept him alive a lot longer than he probably would have lived, but he never did have a heart attack. He actually, the sicker he got, the more committed and open he got to making changes. So I did get to see him live longer and, cut out soda and processed meat and, go more vegetarian and do a little activity. So I did get to see that happen. How did you get from being a young trainer training a high-powered New York attorney into corporate wellness? I think I covered that because the clients that we had, they all worked for companies. And we said, what would it take to get a corporate fitness program in your company? And it was not the same in all of them. Some of them said, yeah, let's take this space, let's build it out and make a huge gym. And others were like, well, we've got a room. You can come in and do a class at lunchtime and in the mornings and after work. So they were all a little bit different. We made it work for the company. Let's see. What was it? Okay, let's see. It's very interesting, the kind of jobs that you performed. Which one did you enjoy the most? You know what? I am having the most fun, I have to say. I mean, I love being an editor of the magazine. I love being the international master trainer for Adventure Boot Camp. I love speaking, owning the gyms. I mean, that was my heart and soul for 14 years. I breathed it. I loved it. But right now, Isogenics is the most fun because I'm helping trainers to, and don't go there without me sending you my link because I want to make sure you get set up right with the best discounts and everything. So don't just go there and start shopping. I'll set up your store right. But with Isogenics, I really help trainers step into their leadership. So there's so much personal development that's happening around the nutrition, and it's helping trainers have residual income and be independent and still do their training and get paid all the time, even if it snows and the gym's closed. I mean, my goodness, you guys had a crazy, insane winter. How many clients were canceling? They couldn't get out. They didn't want to get out. You get paid every day no matter what the weather is, and that's a beautiful thing. One of many certifications you have are the favorites. I love doing the CSCS, the Certified Strength Conditioning Specialist. I really didn't have a background with athletes, so I did that when I was maybe 25. So that was cool. The Medical Exercise Specialist, Clinical Exercise Specialist, Post-Rehab Technician, those definitely serve me. I mean, now I have a client who has Parkinson's. I have 2 70-year-old guys, back issues, so you don't know who your clients are going to be sometimes. So those definitely helped. Okay, let me see. How many hours of your week are your business versus fitness, blogging, and training? So I train maximum 10 hours a week. Actually, I have a client who's here right now, so I got to run. But I would love, 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 love to continue connecting with all of you guys, answering all of your questions. They told me 30 minutes, and I know we didn't get to all the Q&A. We're at an hour. So if you guys want to type anything in there, I'm going to be able to see and read and go through all this detail. And I know everyone who's on here was recorded. And I know Ken is going to, I think Ken is here. So Ken is going to follow up with everyone. I'm just going to unmute for a second. It's going to be a little chaos if you guys are in noisy places. But I'm going to leave you with one last thing before I do. And this is my definition for love. I don't know, you can't see, I don't know if you see my shirt, but it says warrior. Just, I get up every day just kind of putting on my armor to be a warrior, to go out and fight for health and for love. And my definition of love is relentlessly contending for the highest possible good in every situation until it's a present tense reality. So think about what's the target? What is in the center that you would love to hit? Start with what would be the most excellent job, the most excellent opportunity, the most excellent income, the most excellent fitness levels, health, influence, whatever's important to you. Start there and then relentlessly contend for it until it's a reality. Celebrate it and then go for the next thing. So, okay, I'm going to unmute for a second. So thank you guys so much. Type any questions in there. I am going to end the recording. Love you guys. I am so proud of you. It is awesome you're getting this degree. You are going to serve together millions of people. I know it. So I'm excited for you. And I'll put my email here again. My website. Whoops. No. That was a private question.
Yeah.
Okay, that's there. And you can connect with me on Facebook. That's where I am mostly. You can find me there. I gave you my phone number. You're welcome to call me. I'd love to talk to you. Thank you, Ken. You're awesome. So thankful that we became friends a long time ago and stayed connected. And so love you guys. Have an awesome day. Finish well, finish strong, and know that I'm here to help and mentor you guys when I can. Thanks, guys.